Now moving towards one of the most important topic, which is actually guided tissue regeneration. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The process that is actually involved in regeneration. So how it occurs, and so it is actually a process of, so basically it involves applying to surgical wound site. Okay, so means where it is applied. First of all, it is applied on it is a process in which you apply this on the surgical wound site, and what you apply, that material, occlusive perial membrane actually. Now, what is occlusive perial membrane? It is basically a membrane to create a barrier during a periodontal or bone regeneration procedure. Okay, so it is basically used in regeneration, not in repair. Okay, regeneration, it is actually used to prevent the epithelial and connective tissue growth. Why we prevent epithelium connective tissue growth? Why? Because if epithelium grows on that defective area, it will actually repair actually, but that repair will be temporary. Then the damage will again reoccur. So what we do a permanent solution, which is actually regeneration, in which what we do, we place the guided tissue regeneration material as a barrier in order to prevent the epithelial and connective tissue in growth. Okay, and let the cells to come in that defective area and to grow. Which cells, which we have discussed it, those stem cells, that is, or either the paravascular origin cells, to come and then to proliferate and then to differentiate and to mature. Actually, all those cells like cementoblast into fibroblast, osteoblast. Okay, this enables the stem cells from the pedial and paravascular tissue to repopulate the root area. Means what? Repopulate means that those cells that was lost to so again introduce into that root area and differentiate into periodontal supporting apparatus, which I have told you. This occlusive barriers may be used either as a alone, means you can use as an alone, or combination with the bone graft or alloplastic material actually. Means either you will place with the bone graft or either alloplastic material, that are non-synthetic materials, which I have told you. Biologic and biomimicry mediators. Biologic means actually life, bio means life, mimicry means that mimic, and those mediators like cytokines, interleukins, etc. These are purified, biologic, yeah, enamel matrix derivatives or synthetic biomimicry agents like platelet derived growth factors or bone morphogenetic proteins. Okay, so these are actually those materials that has emerged as a potential agents to enhance the periodontal regeneration. These are all those mediators, like you have actually, like you have cytokines, you have interleukins, you have actually you have actually metalloproteins. Actually, all these are help in periodontal regeneration. Okay, so these are purified biologic enamel matrix derivatives or synthetic biomimicry agents like platelet derived growth factors or either bone morphogenetic proteins. Okay, now guided tissue regeneration, which is one of the important. Now we'll discuss one by one things. Okay, this we will discuss first the these upper pictures A, B, C. Let's start it. So first of all, what is happen in this picture is basically it is a flap reflection and exposure of the, we have actually we have reflect the flap actually, and root surfaces are planed. Healing of tissues occurs here. This is now healing of tissues. These are migration of different types of cells from different areas of the periodontium. Okay, that you see the arrows. Okay, now the next is here, which is basically a reparative healing along with a long junctional epithelium. You can see it is repair. Remember, it is repair actually. So what happened? It is actually at the fundus of the pocket there may be some slight new formation of attachment, which is actually blue. You can see here actually these blue attachments. Okay, and with the marginal shrinkage of the gingiva in open arrow, means there is also actually the shrinkage. Yes, there is actually the shrinkage of the marginal marginal shrinkage of the gingiva that is seen in the open arrow means, and a small residual pocket red in remains. Okay, a small residual pocket that is actually seen in the red remains. Okay, now moving towards the next, again there is actually a flap reflection for the root planning, but in blue there is a membrane, and this membrane is actually separates the oral epithelium and gingival connective tissue from the periodontal surface and the periodontal ligament and bone. Okay, okay, this 3 and 4 you are seeing, this is actually PDL. In 3 and then 4 you have seen the bone, so means this is actually GTR, a membrane that is placed as a barrier in order to regrow the bone and PDL. Now third picture, in third picture it is actually a regenerative healing. The upper was reparative, remember this is regenerative healing subsequent to a short junctional epithelium. Okay, a new cementum has been a new cementum is actually have been formed. Okay, a new cementum has been formed. Okay, now basically PDL is formed, bone have been formed actually. So okay, so new cementum. Okay, this is definition of GTR is what it is, the use of occlusal membrane barrier to promote the formation of new periodontium is called GTR. So basically Milchler's postulate that the cells that populate the root surface during healing will define the healing tissue approaches was developed into clinical procedures for human defects. Okay, means the cells that accumulate the in the root surface will actually define the healing tissue and approach was developed. Okay.